Okay, let me start again. My name is Barbara Abalafia, Career Explorations Coordinator in the Pathway Scholars Program. And today's workshop is about finding scholarships for when you transfer. So is everybody here? You could use emojis, planning on transferring at some point to a four-year
Yes.
school? Yes. Okay. You can find scholarships for Bergen, but you're going to need more money for the next couple of years after you transfer. So my advice would be to do it, search and do all the work for your transferring. So we all know that four-year colleges, even New Jersey state schools, are very expensive. So let me share my PowerPoint. And let's see, number 3. And let me show you some ideas that I found. And let me make sure what you can see. So I no longer can, I don't see the chat box. So maybe you could just chime in if I ask a question, and feel free. So do you see the large screen?
Yes.
You see it as a large screen? Because I don't.
As a large screen?
Yeah, do you see the large screen? I already lost mine.
I only see it as I see the number that's recording at the top.
Okay, let me just move this. But do you see my PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm seeing it on 2 different screens. Are you seeing the next slide at the same time?
Yes.
You see 2 slides?
Yes, you can see too.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to move the how to just show the main PowerPoint. Oh, maybe I'll just do it like that. All right. Okay. Okay, see all slides now. All right, I'm sorry. I thought this was done the right way. So anyway, we're going to talk about finding scholarships for transferring. So let me go to the next slide. All right, so what you would need, my recommendation would be, you're going to have to ask for references or recommendation letters. So when you do that, give the person 3 or 4 weeks, just like you're asking them to write for transferring. How many of you are actually transferring out this for next semester or September?
I'm transferring
Anybody?
well, not next semester, but the semester after it.
Okay, good. So you give yourself time and plan this out. So even if you're transferring next year, or you're even transferring this year, you may be a little bit late because many of the deadlines are March, but some may be April, some may be over the summer. So give yourself some time. And when you do the recommendation letters, give them the talking points about you. They're not going to know if you had them last year, they won't remember. So you give them the information they're supposed to write about. Then, of course, you need the time to write a great essay. So research the scholarship goals or the sponsors and then tailor your essay to that. Also, smaller scholarships, ones that are less, you might be, that might be something you would be interested in. Don't let them go. And scholarships for your career or your major, you should check into that. And of course, you're going to Google this or do the internet search, but also join LinkedIn. Some people have Pinterest accounts. If you Twitter, Facebook, use social media, you never know what's going to show up on there. So if you're on, I don't know about Instagram, but obviously LinkedIn is a place, it's business, and scholarships may have their own LinkedIn pages. Okay, so feel free to interrupt if you have any questions. So basically, merit aid is what you're going on. If you get financial aid and you fill out the FAFSA, that's one thing. But this kind of scholarship is based on merit. So definitely remember that it's based on your GPA. Some colleges offer departmental scholarships. So if you're entering the biology department or the environmental science department, they might have their own upper level scholarships. So you have to go on the websites of the college that you're applying to and make sure that you know what they're offering. So research the college website and be aware of those scholarship deadlines. Maybe make a Excel spreadsheet and just be aware that you don't want to miss them. Sometimes you're automatically enrolled in a scholarship application just by applying to the school on a certain date. So remember that maybe the date is March 15th to be eligible for a scholarship. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but at least you're in the running. So apply to schools early is really what I'm saying. Okay, next slide. All right, so no, that was, sorry. These are a lot of these various scholarship websites. I just found these by Googling, so you should be able to find them. Scholarships360.org, nitro.com, unigo.com, scholarships.com, scholarshipbowl.com, collegeconsensus.com. I could send around this my PowerPoint. This is a lot of information. If you click on it, you're going to have to sift through and find out what looks good. These all looked good to me, but just be very careful you're not applying to something that's bogus. So make sure that when they offer the scholarship, so they talk about it, you have to make sure the scholarship is still valid, it's still being given, that it's not a bogus to get your information about you and not really have a scholarship. Okay, has anyone heard of the Kent Cooke Foundation Scholarship?
I am a semifinalist.
Is that Melissa?
It's loose.
Oh, Luce, oh, wow, good for you. So maybe you can add something. I'm going to, hide preventer view. Maybe that will help. Okay, does that look better to you?
Yeah, that looks better.
I couldn't, I'm sorry, I from the beginning. Let's see if that helps. Of course not. Okay. I'm back to let me see if I can make this bigger. So Kent Cooke, I'll just tell you, and then Luz will tell you how she got it. But we always get a winner. We've been getting a winner for the past, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. And it's a $40,000 per year scholarship. So we've seen people, even in the Pathway Scholars Program, Lindsay Nanja got it. So we could get 1 to 3 winners. We're very good. And the winning combination of actions that you have to do is to first join Phi Theta Kappa, PTK, join or try to be in the honors college. If you're just starting out, then you could do that. If you're graduating, of course, if you haven't done it, you can't do that. Get the highest GPA that you can. Do summer research through the Louis D. Abreu's, that STEM honors program. Definitely become a tutor at the tutoring center and become a peer mentor in wherever they have peer mentoring around the school, like the Turning Point program, Pathway Scholars. You could do all this for 1 year, and then that seems to be the combination of what the winners did. Luz, did you do all of these things?
No, I'm part of the Phi Delta Kappa.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I'm part of the Phi Delta Kappa. Yes, I'm in the honors college. I have a 4.0. I don't do the summer program because my major is business.
Okay.
I'm a tutor at the tutoring center. I'm not a peer mentor because I didn't have enough time to do it, but I had the opportunity.
But did you do other club or activities?
Yes, I'm in the Future Business Leaders of America. I was a director of finance in Phi Delta Kappa. I did volunteering as a finance assistant and English tutor in New York.
Okay, so you did a lot. So we'll keep an eye on you, Luz. Hopefully you have the winning
Hopefully, fingers
combination.
crossed. Yes, and it's true. It's not like it's a combination of things that show not like only you as a student, but also like as a person.
Yes, they will. And certainly all that volunteering or starting a club, being a leader, it's, look, there's a game and and that gets you into a good transfer school too. And that could get you money somewhere else. But being a semifinalist, unfortunately, uh, they don't give you money, right? It's only if you're the winner. But it sounds like you have a good chance.
Thank you.
So to apply for this, you have to have the main goods, and the goods is a very high, I think a 3.8 to 4.0 GPA, and at least be in PTK. So, all right. Anybody have any questions for me or for Luz about the Jack Kent Cooke?
I have something to add. So to
Yes.
apply, you have to be a sophomore. You have to have a sophomore status, and enter college like 4-year university on fall. If not, you can't apply.
Wait, I'm sorry because I didn't get you. Did you say you have to be a full-time student?
No, no, no. I say that you have to be a sophomore student that's planning to enter a 4-year university for like the following fall. Like for example, I applied last year on December because I'm graduating this spring and I'm entering on fall 2021 for university. So that's kind of I mean, you are not eligible if that's not your case. Some people
Yeah.
wait, but it's not like for sure you're gonna get.
So in other words, you have to be entering 4-year in the fall, even if
Yeah,
you graduate in December. So when you do apply, make sure it's for fall. It's for the academic year, fall to spring, and then you could get it for 2 to 3 years. So it's
yeah.
definitely worth trying, but of course it's GPA heavily related. Okay. There's another one. I believe that you have to be Tau Sigma Honor Society. I don't know if you could see. You could get 5 to 5,000. I believe that Tau Sigma Honor Society is when you get you join it when you get to the 4-year as a transfer student. So keep that in mind. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, Pearson Education, that's the book publisher. So they give $5,000. I mean, again, these are hard to get, but you have to be a member of Phi Theta Kappa PTK. So you have to be an honor student. And it's helping students plan to transfer to a 4-year college from community college. So that's good because people do transfer from other 4-year colleges. You have to have at least a 3.5 GPA and between 12 and 36 semester hours. So go to all of these sites. That would be helpful. Check it out. Okay.
So I can add to that.
Yes.
To the Pearson Scholarship, there are more scholarships to transfer students. If you're part of the Phi Delta Kappa and you pay the $80 fee, you have one application for not only the Pearson but many other scholarships too, like scholarship from Phi Delta Kappa that it's not only for transferring, also it's like when you're in the community college.
Oh, okay, because I was just going to talk about that you get an automatic, it seems it's automatic, although I'm not sure that it is. So if you're in Phi Theta Kappa, they give you all this information about scholarships. That's what you're saying, and you apply to one, you
Yeah,
fill out one
only one
application.
application, and you automatically are applying for all the scholarships available.
Okay, so let's say I went on the Rutgers site just for, an example, Rutgers, New Brunswick. You could get up to $8,000 per year. I think
That
to
is
any New Jersey school.
that is not automatic though. You have to apply for the Rogers one, and only 4 people get it.
Oh, is that what it is? I knew a bunch
Some
of people. There were peer mentors who got it. Okay.
yeah, some universities give you automatically if you're part of Pi Kappa, but Rogers is competitive, so they just like give to some students. It's mostly based on your GPA.
Okay, yes. And so you could get 8,000 a year. So she's right. It's competitive. I checked out Rutgers. You have to apply. Other students go to NJIT or TCNJ. So you'll have to ask the women that run PTK and be sure you know. They let you know December or April. But you have to be, I believe you have to be active in PTK, not just be a part of it. The active students, I think, get more. And at least 45 credits, that's if you're applying to Rutgers. So, or earn an associate's degree. And traditionally, they ask for a 3.9 or a 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's a little bit harder. Okay, I'll move. So make sure if you do lose, what GPA do you need to be in Phi Theta Kappa?
It depends on your credits. Like for example, I got in after my first semester. I had 12 credits, and I needed 3.75.
3.75 is what you
Yep.
said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so not everybody has that high GPA, but if you do, then you should be not just working in your classes, you need to join all these things if you want money and scholarship money. So be aware of, I just again looked at Rutgers, be aware of deadlines, February 1 for fall, October 1 for spring. To be given scholarship, they consider your academic credentials. Obviously, School of Arts reviews talent. And international students, I wanted to add that, are considered for scholarships up to 10,000 per year. So I do, yes.
I am international student, and actually,
And you were not.
no, we don't receive 10,000. We only are like we can only apply for the 8,000, and that's basically it.
Oh, okay. I did know a girl last year who was international and she couldn't go to Rutgers because they gave her no money. So,
Yeah.
you have to be early. And I did think that was strange, but I got it off the Rutgers website. So they did say it. So be careful, be aware of double check everything. If you're applying or you got into Rutgers, you should be calling them. But yeah, I did know that it's not always what it says on the website. Does anyone else have any questions? Am I going too fast? I mean, okay, so this is a D. Hamadou scholarships. It's a person. You could get 1750 to 3500. You must enroll directly from an associate degree granting New Jersey Community College to another institution, a degree in arts or science, have a GPA of 3.8, and be a US citizen. So some of these are limited to US citizens. So you have to be careful about that. If you're an international student, I would really then Google scholarships for transfer international students. because you could find anything out, but you may narrow your options. If you're less than a 3.5 or 3.8, of course, many people are, you might want to Google scholarships for transfer students under a 3.0 or under a 3.5. You will get information on that. But these scholarships are based on academic achievement. If you're looking for financial aid, of course, then it's based on need, but scholarships by nature are usually merit-based. Anybody here a member of New Jersey Stars? So New Jersey Stars would be if you came from high school, I think at the top 10% of your class, you could have gone to Bergen for free or very little, and then you could get a New Jersey Stars 2, which would mean that you can transfer, it says, let's see, funding up to $12.50 per semester. Okay, so you could get more funding if you were an NJ Stars 2. So if you were an NJ Stars student to begin with, don't forget to look into that. Okay, let's move along. Okay, this says, now I looked at some corporate scholarships. A lot of corporations, they want to look good. They want to give a diverse array of students a shot or a chance. It may be hard to get these, but you could go on the corporate sites on Microsoft and then Google scholarships. So Coca-Cola, Leaders of Promise, Generation Google, it used to be called the Google Bold scholarship, Microsoft scholarships. Many of these might be for the major business. If you major in obviously science or computer science, then Google might help you there. So let me just, can you all see this one? I went on the Nitro site just to see, because Nitro said it was corporate and STEM scholarships. So these are just some examples that you could just apply if you get your essay ready and you just tailor the essay and change it a little, but you have just a main essay you want to send out. This one is $2,000, Ace and Tunka. They're mainly for female students majoring in STEM. So it's from members of the Society of Physics Students. So these are just things you have to search or you would never find it. You could actually Google women in STEM, which I have another slide. And the women in STEM, these are some of them. Virginia Heinlein Memorial Scholarship 2,500 female undergraduate students in STEM. Generation Google underrepresented groups with financial needs. So some of them you do have to fill out the FAFSA. And if you're, they need to know that you have financial need but have strong academics and leadership in computer science. So if these are your majors, you should, and you want a scholarship, you should really get involved at Bergen at in Lewis's the STEM Honor Society, or like Lou's just said, the Business Society, Future Business Leaders of America. If you're an English major like I was, you could still you know, join the Torch, be an editor. It helps to get into a good four-year school, but also, you know, how do they choose someone to give money to? You'll have something to write about, and you'll show that you're very active and you're a leader. They always want to know you're a leader. So if you do join a club, or starting a club is great, then you need to be maybe the vice president or something and get involved for 1 year. This one is called BHW, $3,000. A STEM student who pens an essay about their favorite app. That's not so hard. Scholarship America's Dream Award. This is 5 to 15,000 and it's renewable. So if juniors and seniors who demonstrate financial need, but you know, you still have to write and beat someone out. So it's not just need, it's your how involved you are. And that's for STEM. Blue Pay, students write an essay on 3 topics. Drone enthusiasts, if you're into drones or helping the environment, a 1-page essay. So if you're willing to do some writing, and they will help you, they could help you at the writing center.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Are these scholarships for only citizens and residents, or are also available for other type of students?
Most of these you'd have to check out. I really don't know exactly if these are all for residents or permanent residents, or I'm not sure. Each one is different. So I didn't look it up that way, but you know, you'd have to do some research. Some of them are open and some of them are not, quite frankly. Usually if it's from the government, it's probably has to be a citizen because it's taxpayer or federally funded. But if it's corporate, it doesn't have to be. So you really have to look up each one, unfortunately. I just chose 2 that don't have essay requirements. Science Ambassador Scholarship. So you may fall, it says opens fall 2021. So you have to, it closed already for last fall. So you have to plan ahead when these open and when you can apply for them. So this is for female STEM students. This one you have to create a YouTube video. So you have to put some work into that one, being creative. It's offered by Cards Against Humanity, that game. But it offers a full ride. So if you're a creative person, who knows, you could try it. But you have to be a female STEM student. Oops, that's very popular, being a female STEM student. They're looking for people who aren't, there's not as many women in science, technology, or math, sorry. This one is called the SMART Scholarship. It's full tuition, monthly stipend. I mean, that one's opens August 2021, and it's from the U.S. Department of Defense. Now that one is open to U.S. citizens only. So it said that it was, some of them, it wasn't clear, they didn't state it, but I assume if it's only open to U.S. citizens, they state it right out front. This one would be a great one if you could apply. So students of all academic levels are eligible to apply. So who knows? You check it out, it doesn't hurt. All right, let's go to this. So I did Google women in STEM. Okay, so you could get a scholarship based on your gender, maybe a male in nursing, something where you're more unusual or represented. Women in science jobs, many of them drop out of their major, or they drop out of STEM jobs. So there's a lot of money out there for women, females in science, technology, engineering, or math. So, or you could look for scholarships for English majors. Who knows? You might get one. If you're an underrepresented minority in that field, then you might be eligible for a scholarship. But you would have to just, there's so many, you would have to Google it. So I Googled women in STEM, which is a popular scholarships for women in STEM, and I found many, 10. Society of Women Engineers, Women Tech Makers, which is actually Google also. So they would need, it says what they're looking for, GPA, what you're studying, computer science, or game design. So if you like gaming and you're female, because that's very unusual, they want to see your transcript, resume, and a reference. And answer 4 essay questions. So you see it's work, but you never know. A Palantir is a tech company. Sorry about that. It keeps moving. And that's $7,000 female freshman. I mean, for you would be junior, planning on majoring in STEM, two short essay questions about if you participated in a project that had significant impact. So just if you were in the STEM research program, you would have something to write about. That's the thing. When you do things on campus, it gives you opportunity to write about something. Here's another one. So I just showing you that if you Google it, you'll find, of course, if I send this to you, you'd have to double check that they're still available, that this is still happening. But ABC Humane Wildlife Academic Scholarship, $1,000. These add up. If you could get yourself $5,000 knocked off, that would be great. If you had, these are the little scholarships I was saying to apply to. Girls in STEM, you need a 3.0 or higher, a 1 to 2 page essay. So you want to be an advocate for female participation in STEM. After college STEM inclusion scholarship, 3.0, sorry. Underrepresented in your field. So they want someone gender, race, ethnic background, disability, sexual orientation, age. These are all things that there may be a scholarship for you. Socioeconomic status, nationality, or other non-visible differences. So that's $500, but you never know. There might be, if you do have a disability, you could Google scholarships for people with disabilities and see what you come up with. This Horizons Women in Defense. So that one, because it's the government, it says proof of US citizenship. But if you were interested in security studies, military history, government relations, engineering, computer science, cybersecurity, physics, math, or business as it relates to national security or defense. I don't know how you show that, but if you're interested in these fields of study, law, national security law, you could apply for this with a 500-word essay, 2 letters of recommendation. So it's not, that one was not just science, because you could be political science, diplomacy, economics. So it's not just STEM, but there's certainly plenty of smaller scholarships that you could look for. Does anyone have any questions so far? And then finally, this is just a final, I'm almost done basically, but my final advice for looking for scholarships, it's really, you know, I could show you all the ones that I found, but you may have your own skills and you want to search for your own scholarships. So first, you know, you should have the highest GPA you can, because many of them are merit-based. And then search the internet in your major. That narrows it down for you. Check out scholarships on the colleges that you're interested in, like Rutgers or Montclair, NJIT. They might have other scholarships that you could apply to in your major. Be aware that there could be earlier deadlines. So if the general application is March 15th, to be put in the pool of applicants for scholarships, it may be March 1st. So you should really check that out. fill out the FAFSA form because they may go by your need and they may require essays, videos, something creative, usually an essay. Get involved on campus. So you have something to write about. You're showing leadership. It's not all GPA. So be an involved person and you have not only something to write about, but something to show people that you're special. So it helps you get into the college. It may help you get some money. Search the internet. Here's one to see if businesses in your town, in your county, offer scholarships. Sometimes they even show it in your local little newspaper, the local community life newspaper. You might see that. If you're nursing or health professions, check out hospitals, any local places that may offer scholarships. And then, of course, use the key term transfer scholarships. You don't want ones from high school because then you're just wasting your time. So make sure you put in the keywords and then keep applying. You have nothing to lose but time and effort. At least you know that you tried, because you may come out of a four-year school, even in New Jersey, with loans. So you don't want to be kicking yourself 2 years from now and say, why did at least I tried. So that's all I have to really say about scholarships. Does anyone have any questions? You know, what I could do is just show you. I don't know if you want to stay on. I could just Google if somebody wants to shout out a different type of scholarship. I could do that. See where I said scholarships for women in STEM. Does anyone want me to Google something that your major or your set of circumstances, see what pops up? Nobody?
Transfer scholarship for international students, I guess.
Yeah, that would, okay, that's a good one. And I'm sure I've done this in the past because I have helped students who, here, international transfer students. So the first thing, Whitworth, I don't know what this is. It could be a college. I'm also going to just look down. Transfer scholarships, Clark, USF, which is maybe Florida. You know, here it seems like it's mostly Going Merry. Going Merry was one of the sites, but it's not, and that's where I got the Tau Sigma honor, but it's not for international. This is Iowa. This is State Gov. I'm going to try that one. So just here's Caldwell. Anyone here applying to Caldwell? It's right in New Jersey. Let's just even look at that one. All right, you all see this clearly because it's not on another screen. It's right here. Incoming freshman, that's not going to be you. Incoming transfer. Wow. I don't know if you're thinking of going to Caldwell. Does anyone here thinking of this school right in New Jersey? It is a private school. Sometimes private schools have money and they're willing to give it. Full-time transfer students with a GPA of 2.8 get $8,000 to $20,000. So you never know if it's a school that suits you and has your major that you're interested in. Recognition awards, they demonstrate exceptional leadership. Well, we talked about leadership, that you have to, maybe even if you're not the leader, run something in your club or help run something. High level commitment to extracurricular community service, 1,000 to 5,000, renewable each year. So a school like Caldwell seems very expensive, but if you're getting all these scholarships that are renewable, If they're one time only, then your next year will get very expensive. But if it's renewable, it's lowering the cost of this particular school. Talent scholarships, I think I mentioned that a little bit about art, music, portfolio. And then, of course, we know about athletics. People who do sports can even transfer there. So you see there, let's just go back to that Education USA. So that's why if you have your heart set on a school, but the school doesn't seem reachable because it's private, it's worth checking it out on the website and see if they offer any money. So this is SUNY, State University of New York in Oswego, upstate New York. They're giving international transfer students a scholarship with a 3.3. You get $1,000. It could be that in a New York State school could give you more money than Rutgers or Montclair. I could tell you a student, she was international last year and she ended up going to Baruch. And Baruch is a CUNY. So you could get more money because New Jersey has expensive schools. So I'm looking to see if this is the U.S. Department of State. It did say international. I'm looking to see if more information. You know, it popped up. I didn't really like that it popped up that way, but first year transfer achievement scholarships. They want students to go. It doesn't say anything about international anymore, but it did say it when we Googled it, so you'd have to find out. There are some very good schools in New York State that I always say you might want to try, like Binghamton, if you're a high level school student. Binghamton's a very good school, and that's upstate SUNY, New York. Or Hunter, I know students, international student at Hunter College in Manhattan or Baruch, and they gave them money. Let's see if there's anything else. Here's search term. Do transfer students get scholarships? International transfer student financial aid. Full tuition scholarships for transfer students, scholarships for international transfer. So sometimes you have to reword the keywords and here this is now, I think we're in Canada, so that didn't work very well. Let's see what it says there. Funding your transfer, 30 scholarships for transfer. That was Scholarship Bowl. Scholarship Owl. So I think I put that on. Full tuition for transfer, help to study. We could go on, but I'm just going to say international and see if that helps. Luz, the Kent Cooke obviously will give to international students, right?
Yes, international students are eligible to participate.
See, this Whitworth, anything.edu is a college. So again, we're back to, here's Clark. Clark is upstate. It's a small private school, but it may give you enough to get a good education, and you never know. So I'm going to get out of that because it.
I do have a question that maybe
Yes.
not related to scholarships, but it's more related to choosing the best school.
Yes.
How do you find that combination of going to a school that may be challenging but at the same time affordable?
Well, so you said you're a business major?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you're an international school. I'm a student. So I'm going to I'm just going to Google, and you know, in Google, you could use sentences. Best colleges for international business students. And I'm going to tell you that Baruch ever hear of Baruch, Luz?
Yes, I applied to Baruch.
Oh, you already applied? So are you getting, getting responses yet?
No, because I applied late. I didn't know like the deadlines. I just knew about Baruch like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So you mean you don't know if you're getting into Baruch?
Yes.
So best undergraduate international business. That doesn't work. I Googled the wrong thing. For business. Okay, so you don't want an international school. So I mean, you could go on US News and World Report, but you're saying what's best for you to be affordable and you could get in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I just know off the top of my head that it's very hard to get. I'm going to tell you another trick I know from here. Did everyone here take the SAT or the ACT?
Yeah.
You took it?
I did.
Okay, so I just happened to notice, this isn't set in stone, but I noticed from being here and doing this job, students who took the ACT or the SAT, you obviously have to score pretty well, decent. They got into the schools they wanted to go to, international or not. But students who didn't and applied to like optional, like Johns Hopkins or Cornell, they didn't always get in. And I just think that even if they say it's optional, they want to see these scores. So if you aren't graduating soon, but you have time to take and study for the SAT this summer, I mean, it's horrible, the ACT. I know you don't need it for Bergen, and you don't need it for Ruck. A lot of schools will say you don't need it because you did 2 years in college. So I get why you wouldn't want to take it. But if you wanted to go to a very high level school, I suggest you study and take it over the summer because they still want to see it. And the ACT is a little easier, I think. So here's your top schools. It's very hard to get in. NYU or Columbia, they might take students from Bergen. They know us. They come here. So you could try if you have that 4.0, you said, but be careful. Some of these, Carnegie Mellon, Cornell, they want that test score. So you could get in. North Carolina, I mean, it seems like these big, giant, excellent state schools, they want to take their local community colleges. So my other advice, not formal, it's just what I noticed, anecdotal, is that NYU and Columbia has a school of general studies where they take all the transfers. They take people from Bergen, but to get into Hopkins or Cornell or Virginia, Michigan, it's hard. I do know a student that was a peer mentor in our program. Did you know, anyone know Tenzin? He did get into Michigan and he ended up at Georgetown. So you can do it. But I know he took the ACT because I asked him about it. So my advice would be to do that. Let's see. Adelphi is local. Who would have thought? They have a good business program. It's very expensive, but maybe you could get a lot of money. But it is on Long Island. You may not want to go to Alabama. American is in DC. So a lot of these are expensive. I mean, I don't know these at this point. Auburn. I think if you did Baruch and you did some, is anybody thinking of NJIT? I'm sorry, not
Yes,
NJIT.
Professor. Yes, I'm thinking of NJIT.
TCNJ. Are you thinking of TCNJ? Anyone? TCNJ is really supposed to be one of our best schools in New Jersey. It's just that it's located down by Trenton. So I visited it with my daughter. It's very nice. You would have to live there. So if it's a school that you are able to live on campus, I would recommend, and you have a high GPA, then TCNJ is a great school. So you could check out their business program. But if you want help, Luz, then you could, there are transfer counselors, and there used to be transfer people that were from the schools. But if you want one-on-one help, I could help anyone with transferring. It's not I'm not an official transfer counselor, but I have helped the people in the Pathway Scholars Program. And I see what worked and what didn't work. But Baruch is a great school. It's less expensive. So that might be a school you'd want to try applying to. Did anyone else? It's 1:25, so I don't want to keep talking. Does anyone have any questions about anything? All right, so if you don't have any questions, I'm going to stop recording and end. Thank you for coming. And hold on.